The Bicoastal Experience.
Welcome to the Bicoastal Experience. I'm joined today by the lovely Erin Lepsey, who I happen to share a home with.
Yeah, we live together.
And you know him, you love him, you love to hate him. You really love to hate him, especially if you're in the East. It's your reigning two-time champion, or one half of Team Pellner. It's Adam Pellner, folks, joining us from West Hollywood. What's going on?
I was gonna make two fake rings for the occasion, but I don't know. I don't feel like I don't want to be the league enemy anymore. Ever since Zach Zach has disappeared and Greg is no longer, I think it's more of a neutral league, and I like the peace.
The peace. No, dude, you'll forever be you'll be the Mount Everest that we have to climb in terms of tearing your team down. So don't think you're getting off that easy. Thanks for being on.
Fair enough.
First time on the podcast. I don't have any updates this week, but the one thing I guess it's an update. It's an update reminder. They're basically the same segment at this point. The trade deadline is going to be November 29th, November 30th at midnight. So it's the Tuesday at midnight, which is the 29th is the Tuesday, the 30th is the Wednesday, unless otherwise noted. I pushed it back a week just because I wanted to.
Because commissioners can do that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Everybody's always like, I want one more week. I want one more week for everything. So I gave you one more week. Don't say I never give anything. I'm a very giving commissioner when I can be, in very arbitrary ways. No trades this week. There are plenty of trades inside the NFL, which we could talk about when we're going through everything. Lots of craziness there.
Wow.
But I think we got to get right into it and start with the scores of the week, which oh, hello. Sorry, there's some jumping around. You good over there, Adam? It was like the audio was bumping.
Yeah, my thing is pretty fucked up. I'm sorry. This might not come out good quality, but I am very sorry. Apologize in advance.
Do you have like internet problems? Are you internet handicapped?
Dude, I have like dial-up, man. I haven't updated my internet since like 2015. And it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's about right. All right, so I'll jump right back into it. So we'll start this week talking about the scores of the week. Erin and I had a pretty big matchup in our household, and it turned out to be the biggest matchup in the league. Erin beat me for the first time in franchise history. She has beaten me.
1-6 over here.
So gotta love it. Yeah,
not in the league, but against Nick, I'm 1-6.
No, so congratulations to Erin. She beat me She beat me. What was it? 142 to 126. It actually was the highest scoring game of the year so far, total scoring, and it's the 10th highest score of all time. With the highest score being another game I was involved with versus Phil Swift for even more points than that. 328 combined points. That's nuts. Yeah. So Adam, Erin and I have already talked our teams into oblivion. What do you think of our teams here? What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, I like Erin's team. When I show my rankings, I think the rankings were really hard I feel like there's like 5 teams that are all in like the same tier, and so my rankings are super arbitrary, but Erin's team can definitely make a playoff run. I think Derrick Henry is probably I'll say the best back in the league right now. Nick Chubb a close second, and with Dak back.
Christian McCaffrey though.
What's that?
I said, have you seen Christian
That's
McCaffrey
true.
though? He had a hat trick. He did the thing where he threw a pass into the end zone. He caught a pass in the end zone and he ran it into the end zone. And Derrick Henry didn't do that, but he did get almost as many points.
Yeah, you don't need to do that to score. You could just you could be a sick back, you know? That's what he did basically. That's plenty enough to win you a game.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up the matchup between you two right now. What was how much did Erin win by?
It was 142 to 126. So
16?
Lost by 16, I guess.
Does that math? Does that math matter?
Yeah, that does math. Thank you, math. Yeah, man, big game. Dak Prescott had a big game. Aaron Jones, look it out there. Christian McCaffrey. I had a great week this week, and Aaron had an even better week. It was probably her best performance ever, I'd imagine. Kirk Cousins right off the waivers doing well. Derrick Henry 35. Naheem Hines putting in a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb doing good. Judy showing up. Basically, your entire team has to show up in order to put up a 142.
So I have to confess I didn't watch the last podcast, but I did hear that my name was brought up in how much I spent on the waivers. I spent $41 in waivers to get Kirk Cousins. I did $25, and then I spent $8 on Naheem Hines and $8 on the Titans. And I have to say that was money well spent. I got my highest score ever, beat Nick senseless.
Yeah, that must have been fun for you.
And I did it while I was at work.
Yeah, that made it less fun. Well, I don't know. TBD. All right, enough about this game, Aaron.
How much you spent $25 on Cousins?
Yes.
$25 on Cousins. I paid $12 for Jerick McKinnon this week.
What?
I just needed a running back, and I can't never mind. Let's get into that later. Thanks for kicking my ass, Aaron. The next highest scoring game of the week, the Battle of Algier. 4-4 over Build Me Up Buttercup. We've got two 4-4 teams now. 130 to 105. Kyler Murray did really well. AJ Brown is the real deal. Justin Jefferson looked good. Tyler Algier showing up in the namesake. That new trade coming up big for him. Did you see about Hawkinson now? He's going to the Vikings. So I don't know, kind of lateral if you ask me. But Build Me Up Buttercup kind of showed up, still got plus 100 points. Nick Chubb kind of holding that team together. Cooper Kupp doing the Cooper Kupp things.
Also, can't forget about Young Waiku.
I could forget about him if I were the Battle of Algier. They didn't even have to think about them.
That's true. He's
He's pretty good at kicking
a
things.
good kicker.
What do you think, Adam? Any names? Any big performances this week stand out to you?
As you were saying that, the only question I had are Will and Matt best friends? I could totally see them being really, really tight.
They're good. They're very good friends. I don't want to presume titles of best friends on anybody, but they're definitely very, very good friends. They're like you and I.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna
the way
assume that they're the best friend.
Yeah. Well, best friends camp is pretty fair. I don't know. I think he tends.
Gotcha.
Matt is probably best friends with his wife, who's also in the league, that's a general
And
rule of
who's
thumb.
also a really good competitor in this league.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that game next.
Can't wait to talk about my Queen Morgan.
Dude, that was another banger. That game had
We had 3 bangers this week.
Three
No,
bangers.
4 bangers.
it was just a high scoring week in general. All right, welcome back into the fold, Atwell. Big trades, good job. Next up we got Phil Swift versus Morgan over here, 125 to 119. Big game from DeAndre Hopkins. He's back, he's real. T. Higgins stepping into the wide receiver 1 role with 12.5 points there. Even Aaron Rodgers got something together there despite his team pulling apart. I feel like I need to defend myself. A few weeks ago, I said that the Packers were good, and I think I rescind that. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to defend it at this point. I'm just going to stand by and say I think the Packers don't look very good anymore.
The Packers are bad.
Yeah, the Packers are pretty bad. DeAndre Hopkins.
Packers are bad.
Yeah, the Packers are pretty bad. Miles Sanders, 13.8. Just all that firing on all cylinders. Travis Etienne
going 23.7 at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh yeah, that was the
Wild.
game.
I watched that game through the ESPN app.
I thought you said you could.
Through the ESPN Fantasy Football app. I watched the
Fantasy
play-by-play because it was on ESPN Plus, and I am not subscribed.
It's good. It's a good thing. Lamar Jackson, 21 points. Tyreek Hill, 25. Jalen Waddle. God, Morgan's team is just still so freaking good.
The only downside was the George Pickens goose egg.
Yeah, if she had started literally anybody else over there,
That
she'd
would've been a
started.
difference maker.
Yeah, with Damian Harris over Pickens would have been a play. Kareem Hunt would have been the play. DuVernay. Oh man, that's a tough one. Yeah, the Philadelphia secondary is so good. It's a tough call, Morgan. I know you're gonna listen to this, so. And if you don't, then whatever, dude. Just
She's still my queen,
shit talking into the wind.
even though
What do you think, Adam? So Morgan looks like your real competition out there, Adam. Are you afraid of her on a week like this? She's put up 119 casually and losing.
Yeah, she I think that she deserves the award for most improved team of the year. We reached out for many people to get Tyreek Hill, and she was the only person who, by far, the best acquisition of the offseason was her getting Tyreek Hill, and then the two guys that I ended up getting are both trash and hurt. So yeah, that was a great acquisition. The only one who believed in Tyreek Hill, who is still a top 3 receiver in the NFL. So yeah, her team with
pretty crazy.
I don't believe he shopped Tyreek to me. I would have liked Tyreek a lot.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have given up like CeeDee Lamb or something.
I would have for Tyreek.
That was
Morgan.
I would.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's
subtle.
Wow. You heard it here, folks. Tyreek for CeeDee Lamb on the table. You heard it here, folks.
That's I think Tyreek is 2 classes above CeeDee Lamb, but
She usually watches at least to her episode, as far as I'm aware, or to her review here. Anyway, a strong week from her. Tyreek is in full force. The receivers are going to win the division. Next up, we got another nail biter banger. Meyer to Mediocrity versus Strong Island, 115 to 111. All right, so we had some technical difficulties and we lost Adam's picture, but he's joining us via audio here. Wi-Fi, it's tough to come by these days. It's what is it, 1992 over there?
Hey, someone's got to pay the bills, you know. The fantasy money ain't cutting it.
Oh God. Yeah, what winning 2 years in a row will cut. We can very much pay for your internet bills at the very least. Austin had a good showing. Alvin Kamara, remnants of the Christmas game. Tom Brady, this trade's working out for him all right. Trade basically won him the week, actually, if you think about it. Sammy Watkins did not win him the week, but 115 was enough to beat out Strong Island over here.
I can't see the discrepancy in the scores.
Yeah, I think it's
pretty even.
It's pretty even. Yeah, Deonta Foreman did great. Yeah,
Deonta
Foreman with 32 points. That's pretty crazy.
And
yeah, the
Portland
kicker.
Sutton.
Yeah.
Well, no, Portland Sutton balances out the Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
true.
it's the kicker.
Dalvin Cook with 22 points there. Andy Dalton 17. Austin's making a push here. He's coming back. Dave's team still floundering. Lots of buys, lots of injuries. But Calvin Ridley to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who knew? Fun times. You got any opinions on the second, if you will, the second tier of the East, Adam? You got any thoughts on this game?
Doctor too, right? Good old fashioned fantasy. Yeah, he's got good running backs. He's got Eckler and Kamara. You guys, damn, you guys are fully frozen right now. All right, I might go back to my internet. I'm going back. This is going back to the computer.
What about the cell? What about the cellular? All right, Adam. Bye. Well, I think we've talked this game into oblivion at this point. Next up, Adam, let's talk about your game. Why don't you just walk us through how your team did this week?
Well, Nick, not good. My team has been plagued with several injuries. This is a sport of it's a hard game to foresee. Deebo Samuel did not play. Mark Andrews playing with half a leg.
I'm reaping all the benefits.
Josh Reynolds and Curtis. You are, man. Our team. I was very, very confident in our team. There was a time where I was like, maybe we could go 16-0. I know that was really stupid, but it was a pipe dream, and now I don't even think we're a top 3 team in the league. It's sunk very quickly. So
wow.
But I like to. I'll give the W to Matt. Matt's a good man.
Yeah, we love
Squid.
Squid is back. I love the name change.
Squid's back, folks. Like spaghetti. Spaghetti's back. Squid is back.
Right.
Tua's back. 30 points from Tua. You look good out there. Yeah, dude. Talking about Deebo, like it's literally your team. All of his targets and everything is literally just getting injected right into my team right now. So I think it's just false. I think it's false marketing on terms of Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey, because once Deebo's back, everybody's numbers is going to level out.
Was Deebo on IR?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Is he? He's not on the formal IR though, is he? No, he's just
Oh,
out.
he's just out.
He'll be back soon.
No, he's just out. He's week to week.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's got a hammy. That hammy's gonna linger, dude. It's the Niners. It's typical Niners woes. You know, it's just like always injury prone over there. Yeah, Matt's team looked good over here.
Yeah.
Good week from Saquon. Good week from Kyle Pitts. Finally steps into the end zone.
His bench looked good too with
yeah.
Romeo Dubs.
Yeah, the bench looks solid over there.
Geno
Yeah,
Smith and
Rondell Moore
Rondale
stepping into
Moore.
that too, real nice while
Dropped him.
Hollywood's away. Yeah, good for him. Good for
him.
him. Just wait until J.K. Dobbins comes back week 19. Next up, we've got Hertz Donut and Can You Dig It? Lee takes the easy dub from a now Can You Dig It? A nameless namesake, if you will. 28 points from Jalen Hurts, 13 from Fournette, 15 from Mike Evans, 15 from Herbert. Just everybody's firing on all cylinders. And once again, Lee, we got to talk about Lee again. Casually picking up top tier quarterbacks off of waivers when no one's looking. What did he pay for? I got to see what he paid for.
I think he got him for free.
No, I don't think he definitely didn't pay.
No, he paid $20.
$20. Dude, even $20 for Justin Fields is a sick offer.
Oh, I
sick
beat
deal.
out I didn't know I beat David for Kirk Cousins. Dave
Yeah,
could have paid $13 more.
yeah.
Could have had him.
No, Dave's too cheap for that. Dave's making too many
We have
dollars.
$31 left.
Congrats, Dave, on your summer internship.
Actually, we dropped Justin Fields 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, he's been
on the
Oh, right. Yeah. May I ask
I don't-
why you would trade a number one pick?
He's so inconsistent.
But he's still so new.
Yeah, dude. He's still rookie. He's still sophomore quarterback,
Sophomore.
dude. You don't see me dropping Trevor Lawrence. I probably should.
It's true. I'll admit on live air.
I haven't dropped Kyle Pitts.
You don't have Kyle Pitts.
Not Kyle Pitts. That's not his name. His name is.
Yeah,
I
I just think,
Kenny
I mean, there's those
Pickett.
QBs that come in and out of the league.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough to say. Matthew Stafford was 17. Ramondre Stevenson still the buoy of that whole team. Chris Godwin at 10. Garrett Wilson at 14.
Steelers at -3.
Dude, Kenny Walker looks like the real deal, dude. Kenny Walker looks great out there. Let's move on to the next game here. We got Captain Kelsey versus Rockville Bottoms, 95-47. Captain Kelsey taking dude, the East is absolutely clobbering us in the head-to-heads for the year. Yeah, there's something to be said about the East versus the West with two teams that are obviously in the lower brackets. You know, there have been teams in the lower brackets on the East Coast before, but I think the numbers have just gone down. So it's also a lower scoring year overall, so it's tough to tell.
Yeah.
Just all numbers are down in general, but like even looking at some of the earlier seasons with tanking teams, it was in like the 70s and the 80s for the low teams. 47 is pretty tough.
Jamal Williams made up half of that score.
Yeah, Jamal Williams looks sick out there. Yeah, but Mark Ingram got injured, I think. So can't see that coming. Devin Singletary probably should be out there. Anyway, Captain Kelsey looks good out there. She might sneak in. She still has a chance to sneak in. 3 and 5 will still get you close to. All you got to do is win 1 or 2 more games, and you're in contention for the playoffs. There, DJ Moore, 25 points, looks sick out there. DK Metcalf, 14 points. Kelsey looks good. She can still make it into the playoffs if you ask me. I think that'll just about do it for the scores. So let's get into the waivers and all the business. I overpaid for Jerick McKinnon. Nobody even cared apparently. I just needed a running back because Aaron Jones is on a bye and I wasn't sure what was going on with Chuba. My mediocrity takes the Bengals D for $10. That's a lot to pay for a defense. I guess they're going against Carolina, but Carolina's been playing well. So what are you gonna do about that? I don't know. Bengals D doesn't go for 8. Vikings D doesn't go for 5.
So I did wind up getting the Vikings D for free. I just had to swap the Titans, which I thought I did, but I did that at like 12 a.m. 2 nights ago.
Helena, I like this Terrace Marshall pickup. He's been getting a lot of targets. He's out there. He's
especially with the potential DJ Moore trade looming.
Well, that's gone. No.
Oh, it's gone.
Trade deadline already. That was
True.
yesterday.
Trade deadline was yesterday. That's why there were all those trades.
Yeah.
That'd be smart.
Nick Pope for
Oh,
$2, 21 points.
That's
Tough
a good
to not
one.
look at it. Lee's just he's like the waiver reaper. He just comes through and makes all these good plays.
Looks-
Jawan Johnson for $0. That's
Mm.
not that's actually a really good call because also if you look at it now, James Winston starting Taysom Hill probably ain't going to get as many touches, and James Winston liked Jawan Johnson more, so that's probably a good play overall. Nothing from you, Adam. Your team. I lied. You took Terrace Marshall. I already talked about that. My bad. I'll look at the
All good.
budget. I'll look at the budget here. I'm down to 57. Will's down to 40.
I'm at 30.
Aaron's at 31. Those are kind of your bottom people. We still got Kenny Diggett hodling all his money at the top, probably waiting for one juicy person to fall through the cracks during the buys.
Captain Kelsey as well.
Yeah, everybody's pretty high up on that money chart. You know what I'm saying?
F and Morgan at 91.
Yeah, everybody's pretty high up there. Anyway, moving on next to everybody's favorite segment. It's the power rankings over here. I'll go through mine real quick just because not too much has changed except for one team, which we'll get to. Number 14, Zach. 13, Lombardi. 12, Phil Swift. 11 is Sarah, Captain Kelsey. Number 10 is Lisenski. Despite the win, he had to fall down because somebody had to go up. We're going to get to that later. Aaron went +1 after that win versus me. She's back in the playoff picture. David fell one spot to number 8. Atwell to 7. Will to 6. Everybody's dropping. If you notice here, everybody's dropping because your boy Austin +3 on the week. Austin is back in it, folks, at 5-3 with killer running backs. And you know what, man, there's still time. I think he could still take somebody and or just get a wide receiver. Dude, Austin, why don't we talk, man? I can send you Chase Claypool or something, maybe. I don't know.
That'd be bold.
I don't know. Chase
Austin,
Claypool.
I'll see you.
But
at
Austin
14.
Team's
Wow.
killing it. Came all the way up to number 5. Then everything kind of stayed at the top, same at the top because everybody kind of got bounced around there. It's me at 4, Morgan at 3, Pelner at 2, and Lee at 1. Lee's the best team in my opinion, and now everybody's tied atop the West. So you can't really say much otherwise than that. Yeah. You want to go into Aaron? Why don't you tell us about your rankings?
All right, so my rankings have all disappeared from the screen. There they are. They haven't changed very much. There are, like Nick said, some big moves on mine. Got the regular bottom with Zach and James. 14 Zach, 13 James. Sarah fell 1, even though she won. Still, she fell 1. Phil Swift went up 1 because he beat Morgan. Then you got Dave at 10. Squid fell 4. I know he beat Adam, but he was.
That's a crazy proposition that Matt falls 4 points. Because this is from
like a few weeks ago when he was pretty high up
last week. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like you beat
so,
Adam,
like,
and it's like -4.
a few weeks ago. And then I moved up 1 just because I beat Nick. You know, I had to give myself a little bit of credit. Atwell fell, Will went up. They just swapped because, like Nick said, Austin moved up 3 in my rankings. He moved up to number 5. He's got a little scarier of a team now with everything going on. And then my top 4 is a little different now. We've got Nick at 4. Adam, you fell 2 down to 20.
Damn right.
That loss, even though I did drop
Deserved
Squid
it.
down to 9, you still fell to 3. Morgan's still at 2. I'm sorry, East Coast can't have number 1. And in first place, it does hurt. It does hurt. Let's go. Hurts Donut, Raymond Lee Wilson, Raymond Larry Wilson, my boy in Florida. We miss you, pal. Come on back, but also stay there. Because yeah, that's my stuff.
It's a hot take.
I can do better on Aaron's Bleacher Report if you would like.
I find it funny that Lee, despite having been one of the only other champions of the league, still has enough goodwill that people like Aaron and I are happy with him winning.
We just love Lee. He's just a good guy.
We miss you, bud.
A likable dude.
You don't
not
listen to the
villain
podcast
of the
anyway. It's
league.
okay. He
I
doesn't.
know.
He doesn't. If you listen to this one, Lee, let me know.
Let's see how far you get, Lee. If you get this far, I will send you Hunter Renfro for no money off.
You heard it here, folks. Trades on the table.
To Lee.
To Lee.
Hunter Renfro to Lee.
All
Miss
right,
you, Lee.
Adam. The
Wait.
time has come. The time has come.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm not laughing
Yes,
at you.
Adam.
All right,
During this
cool.
whole thing, we're not going to say anything until we feel it's appropriate. We're going to let you sound off here because I think that's going to be the best for all parties involved.
Okay, I like to think that's because of technical reasons, not because I talk a lot, but I'm gonna go.
You don't
And,
talk a lot, Adam. You're fine. You're
I'm-
so good. It's your
Thanks, Nick. That's what best friends are. All right. I got at number 14. I got Zach, and my notes are just very bad. I'm very interested in this guy, James. I kind of like the strategy for a while, but then he gave you Stephon Diggs, and now I'm just like a little bitter. I didn't really understand why he gave you the best wide receiver or one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I would like James to be on one of these podcasts and to explain said move. But he's Dave's friend, so I like him. I'll give him a pass. But weird trade.
I mean, I'll talk about that
then-
real quick. Wait, I will say something there. You got 2 firsts, and he wanted Rachaad White. You think Rachaad White was a good rookie. He's basically stockpiling for next year. And the reasoning he gave to me is, along with trying to trade Chris Godwin, he wanted to get rid of Stephon Diggs to clear out the franchise slots so that he could essentially buy. There's something to be said about Stephon Diggs being the best player, one of the best players, period. So why would you ever even that's who you would want to be acquiring anyway? But he has more latitude in terms of whatever trades he can make in the offseason, depending on the news or whatever. That's what I'd say to that. It doesn't make it, Matt Atwell did a lot of this his first year, where he just completely firebombed the team, and then the next year he came around and showed up and built essentially the franchise that we're still trying to fend off the
James
playoffs.
Lombardi has-
That's fair. Yeah.
He's got at least 3 first-round picks this year, and he's got 2 next year. So it's like it's essentially just getting all of the trade power in the world that you want to get. It's which you can do for sure things, and then you might not even want to trade those. I don't know. It's like Stephon Diggs, no question, is like a sure thing, but those picks can turn into a sure thing later on at a much more valuable point. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's all I'll say to that. Please continue.
Fair enough. All right. Then I got Sarah at 12. I love the Seattle wide receivers. I feel like after like James's team, it was hard to rank people. This was just off firsthand look at teams. So these are very obviously all this is subjective, but this was pretty tough. But Matt at 11. Although again, kind of a scary team when Jonathan Taylor, I think, will inevitably start putting up points. Then I got Dave, aka the Legend, at 10.
Yeah, dude.
What's that?
I said we've all been waiting for it though. It's for JT to show up finally. We'll see. We've all been sitting around waiting for Godot.
Yeah, if he does, Matt will definitely move up a bunch of spots. And then we got Dave at 10. Pained me. I wanted to put him in the top 5. His team has been looking fresh, but I think just injuries and just bad luck has got the Hofstra boy at number 10. Then we got Aaron. Aaron, your team's good. Again, I wanted to put you higher. I just this was a tough one, but I think Henry and CD is a solid core. Yeah, all the teams are like very even, I think, in like this range. I honestly think hot take 1 to 9 all in the same tier. I don't think a lot of teams really stick out after 9. It's very close. And then I think Jeff and Brian's team were the most underrated according to your rankings. I think he's got DeAndre, Gabe Davis, Amari. The Jags running back, that is a team that I am genuinely scared of. And with Hopkins back, who's already putting up monster points, I think that could also be a top 5 team very easily. Matt, I think Matt and I are in the same boat. Both really good teams in the beginning of the year, but kind of looking just not panning out this year. But he does have 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, so he could easily win it. Austin's got some stellar running backs. Then we got Will, who honestly, Will, you're just in the top 5 because of Cooper Kupp and Nick Chubb. I think everyone else on your team is not very good, but you do have the 2 most consistent, probably the best players in the league, and that might get you the W. So, solid acquisitions. And then I dropped me and my brother down to 4. I just think with the injuries and our biggest mistake was that we didn't franchise Tyreek. That was a thing that me and my brother debated on, and Debo was not the pick. Debo is injury prone. I love Debo, but I think he is, again, just especially with the Christian McCaffrey acquisition, it's not looking great, which was a huge hit to our team. And I don't know if Keenan Allen or Michael Thomas are ever going to play. So our team is not looking as good
Michael
anymore.
Thomas did.
And that's crazy to think about, actually, that you had like that. First of all, David had been trying to wheel and deal Keenan Allen all off season. It should have been like an arbiter of things to come, where it's like just everybody kind of, I don't know. I made a couple plays towards the end there, but like, yeah, it should have just been an arbiter of like, yeah, this guy is going to have some issues if nobody's interested in him. As you know, unfortunately.
Yeah,
same deal with Debo. It's tough. Now with McCaffrey coming in there, it looks almost like I don't know. It could be lateral for him because he'll just be getting more targets. I think, like in terms, he won't get as much running. But anyway, I digress. Your team's still good, but I'm still afraid to play. We play each other the second to last week, I think, of the season, or maybe it's the last week of the season, and I think that's going to be like whoever wins that game makes it into the playoffs for you and me. I think is what it's going to come down to. But anyway,
got you. And it's not. We're not doing 3 best teams in each division, right?
No, it's the top. Yeah, it's the top 2, and then the next best 4. So that that's kind of what the East had been arguing in terms of the playoff spot, where it's like this is a tough year for that concession to be made because we have 2 bad teams in the West. So even if it's like just +1 win, that's enough to beat out anybody in the East. You know what I mean? So, oh well, sucks to suck. Yeah. I don't know. We'll try to figure that out. Let me know if you guys have any ideas on that. Anyway, please continue.
Well, we don't do we play each other more though? That is the divisional games are more often than the
we play each other twice in the division, and then you play 2 interleague games throughout the year. So
okay, so I can see that that's pretty unfair. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we're not as good as the West as the East, so that's fair.
No. But anyway, please continue.
You were at
Adam.
4.
All right, and then Lee's team always liked since the beginning, and yeah, I just I think the running backs, just Najee Harris and Fournette, again they could go off at any time. The Steelers are just looking so bad that I mean I loved Najee Harris at the beginning of the year, but I don't know if his team is better than a few teams just because the running back positions are kind of not great, but he does have a great team. And then Morgan's team is monstrous. I do love the Miami wide receivers. The only issue is that if Miami has a bad game, she probably loses, but it's a pretty monster team. And like I said, most improved team for sure. And then I got you, Nick, at number 1. For me, that was an easy number 1. I didn't even have to think about it. I think the Stephon Diggs acquisition, dude, and McCaffrey moving to San Francisco, I think you are 2 to 9, same tier, and then I think your team, I think your team's good, man. That is the scariest team right now.
He'll beat you once
And Aaron still beat you.
Once,
But
that's
yeah,
it.
man, when your players get off the buys, I think again, James just dealt you a really good hand here with Diggs, and you have Devontae. That is scary. And McCaffrey, those are three consistent scary players. So you got the
I think
one
it's
seed.
three consistent scary players, and say what you will about Aaron Jones. I just think I would argue that I have the best four in the league. I would say that I have the best starting running back wide receiver combo in the league. Say, you know, I got problems at tight end and quarterback for days, but if we're talking about those four positions, I think I've got the scariest four combination there. So thank you for the thanks for the love there. It was hard fought, cost me my entire future, cost me the next couple drafts first round picks there. But hopefully those will be the end of the first round there. So that's what I got to say to that. It's funny you mentioned that about Morgan. I'm thinking now, like, I'm wondering who the Miami is playing in the playoffs for fantasy, where it might be where if Miami's playing a really good defense, like let's say like an Eagles defense or Cowboys defense in those last few weeks, where her entire team just like falls apart because of that, and like she doesn't make, that's what she really has to watch out for in the playoffs. But I mean, the team is just so good that it's,
Or if that week
yeah. What's the schedule look like here?
if they get the bye, that could be bad.
No, but that's not in the play. But that never happens in the playoffs.
Oh,
All right, how about they're playing Buffalo, not the best secondary. Green Bay, decent secondary. New England, not so great secondary. So they're in a good position for the playoff run. Screw it, Morgan's gonna win. Morgan's gonna win the league. I'm calling it
my
right now.
queen.
It's tough. I think that's those are some good teams to go against for the playoff run there. But anyway, thanks for the rankings, Adam. I really liked yours. It's definitely a different taste of than we're used to reading there. So yeah. And last but not least, I wanted to do a little deep dive here. Considering Adam and Dan have run arguably the most successful franchise in the league here, we're going to take a spin down their current team and talk about how they acquired all the people on their team. So let's just walk right down as it is on ESPN. I got Josh Allen. You drafted him in the 3rd round, I believe. Josh Jacobs, a couple of Joshes. Josh Jacobs was a 1st round pick from David Montgomery, who got traded, right?
For Matt Atwell.
That was an Atwell trade.
I remember.
Yeah.
Another 1st round pick. Hilliard was off of waivers this year. Keenan Allen was through a trade with David. What was that trade again?
So I think it was Rashad Penny, which could have, again, Dave was totally fucked on that because Rashad Penny would have been a monster. I think because Kenneth Walker is now putting up those numbers, but yeah, we both got screwed. Injuries. Yeah, it's Rashad Penny in like a 3rd round or something.
Oh, that's a pretty mutual. There's still a chance Keenan Allen comes back here. I mean, it's still lingering, so who the hell knows? But that seems like a pretty fair trade. Just a couple of banged up boys. Curtis Samuel off of waivers in week 1. You read the tea leaves there, dude. Looking good. Wentz loves him, or excuse me, Heineke likes him now too, I guess. Wentz loved him. Mark Andrews, that was just an inaugural draft pick, right?
I was like thinking about that. I don't know if I drafted him randomly in the late, like one of the rookie drafts, or if I got him early waivers. I tried to check once. I don't remember. I think it might have been
my records,
might have been a waivers grab. Like
my records indicate that it was a 2019 draft lock-in. So you drafted him in the 2nd year of the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm gonna tap myself on the shoulder because that's pretty dope. I forgot if I drafted him.
Well, congrats there. Terrace Marshall off waivers this week. The Pats off waivers, I believe. Mm-hmm. McPherson, you were like 1 or 2 picks ahead of me in the draft. I'm so mad you got him. That was this year. Jeff Wilson Jr. Jeff Wilson Jr. How'd you get him? Waivers?
No,
yeah, we picked him up in waivers. But you know what's funny? We've had Jeff Wilson for like 3 consecutive years by just like grabbing off waivers, and he's won us playoff games. He's just like, you never know where this guy's gonna land on a team, and it's just like, yeah, it's interesting.
Buy-in. Alec Pierce, that was an early draft pick from you this year. I really like that pick. I think he has some potential there once they get there. The Colts are just gonna have this revolving door of like veteran quarterbacks for the next 4 seasons, I imagine. Like it'll be like Matt Stafford will make a run there at some point. Kirk Cousins, you'll see go through there. So you got to figure that Alec Pierce will. Not really, but he has an expiring contract in 2 years, I think it is. Yeah. Eventually Russell Wilson will probably make his way down there. Packers D, that was off waivers or draft. Zeke, that's an inaugural draft, I believe. Let me look here.
I remember.
No, that's James actually won that trade. I gave him a first round and a second round pick to James in the beginning of the season. And me and Daniel wanted to go for a third consecutive championship and desperately needed an RB2. So we thought him and Pollard would just lock it up as a crew. Zeke's washed up. He's not a good back. My best case scenario is he stays on. This is mean. I don't root for injuries, but if he's injured and Pollard gets to start, like our team is then a very, very scary team with Tony Pollard. Because Tony Pollard, you heard it here, available for trade, a beast.
You're really trying to deal Pollard after telling us all that about Zeke? Zeke's washed up.
He could get a deal.
So it's contracts. The only reason why we want to get rid of him is because Pollard's on an expiring contract right now.
Oh, so you need somebody.
If I had room, yeah, we need some. If someone needs like a running back, I mean, I think Pollard's going to be the franchise RB. It's just how are we going to get rid of him?
You know who would be a great fit for Pollard? Would be James Lombardi or Zach Reimers with open franchise slots. Just throwing it out there.
Yep,
that's
who we're looking at. Yeah. I think
sick targets there. Wow. Yeah. Because Morgan's gonna have to drop Juju to keep Tyreek, so that's not opening up. And Austin might be dropping Adam Thielen, would be the only other person that I really see on this, and Justin Tucker for Aaron, I guess. Yeah, but it really is. There aren't too many franchise slots that'll be opening. I got a lot of good players on franchise slots these days.
I remember Adam's first draft pick was either Duke or David Johnson.
Probably David Johnson.
It was one of the D Johnsons.
It was David Johnson. It was a very, very bad first round pick.
My first round pick was Antonio Brown. So
that was an even worse draft pick. So yeah, that's fair. Probably two worst first round draft picks.
And then you had who else you got there? You got Tony Pollard. How did you get Pollard? Pollard was a trade acquisition. Yeah, you received him from the trade.
Yeah, from Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Morgan love to strike up these deals, man. You and Morgan are good trade partners over there.
Morgan and Matt are the exchange deals. That's who you go for trades. I think they've all been pretty, mostly fairly even deals. We got a lot from Morgan. She got Tyreek, and then Matt also likes the deal. It's a good squad.
Yeah. Let's talk about Kadarius. Oh, sorry. What's up?
I'm saying, how did he get Kadarius Toney?
Kadarius Toney picked up off waivers, you bastard.
I think he was we drafted him last year, I think, with our with one of our picks.
Yeah.
I thought
we're Giant fans and we liked.
So I also have Darius Slayton off the waivers.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney. Oh, right. You're right. It was a draft pick last year. My bad. And then lastly, you picked up Slayton off waivers. That's what I'm thinking of. Debo and Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas was the trade this offseason, did not go in your favor. And Debo was a draft pick, if I remember correctly.
Second round draft pick. Yeah, that's all my brother. He does he does a good job selecting the youngins. Yeah, Debo was like a second round pick like 2 years ago.
That's a pretty sick thing. So listen here, folks. I just like highlighting this team because Adam's done so well. It's a combination of draft, it's a combination of waivers. It's all the good things that you love to see in a winning team here. 1 or 2 championships there. Trades, waivers, drafts, all the above. Good work, Dad. Good work, dude. That'll wrap it up for today's episode. Thanks for joining us today, Adam. I hope you had a little bit of fun.
Hope it wasn't too technologically stressful for you.
Next one, I'm going to your guys' house. 100%.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
We'll do it in person.
Yeah, we're ordering some pizza. We'll fuck it. We're doing this in person. Absolutely, brother. You're always welcome. And thanks for joining me, Aaron. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
Congrats on beating me this week. And that's what a better way to end that. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, we actually jumped up in the podcast rankings. We're no longer number 6. We're actually number 4 again. We did it, folks. We jumped up 2 slots in the podcast rankings. We did it. Thanks for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for next week's episode. Maybe hopefully we'll have Will back on, and
maybe not.
Maybe probably. I think
that'd be cool. Actually,
that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Anyway, thanks, folks. Have a great week. Bye.
Peace.